I was standing here with Andrew from Keene, who has a concern about police in New Hampshire. What is your concern?
Basically, that compared to other states, it seems like the police have a heavy presence on state highways and local cities also. And they just hand out a whole lot more tickets than other areas I've noticed, at least in my experience.
And do you think it's just because it's so safe here, they don't have anything else to do? Or
I think that's part of it. Also, every year the police department needs to increase their budget, so, more speeders, more non-registration, registration offenders, inspection offenders, things like that. They hand out more tickets, they need to find an excuse. And I think that a lot of free staters are kind of homebodies, and they don't get out so much compared to most people. And I travel for work a lot, and so I experience this a lot, and I've been pulled over an extremely high amount of times, and believe it or not, most of it's not for speeding.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I have speeding tickets, but for the most part, when I get pulled over, it's just because I'm going to work at 2 in the morning, and there's a cop following me, and pulls me over and says my vehicle matches a description of a suspicious vehicle. Things like that. And I generally don't get a ticket, but when I do, it racks up and I'm at risk of losing my license.
Okay, sir.
Hi.
Issue with summons for speed. The pink is the actual ticket. On the back of the pink are all the instructions. You have 30 days from today to answer in writing in the green envelope.
I've only been pulled over 4, maybe 5 times since I moved to New Hampshire in 2004. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something about my car, or I don't know.
Could be. I mean, I have a sports car, and I'm pushing 12.5 pullovers since mid-2009.
Wow. And you've had some bad experiences with police that have pulled you over, as well as maybe some decent ones, but tell me about the bad ones.
Well, and beyond just getting a general ticket, for whatever, I've been towed when I was 500 feet from my house. Despite any reason, or trying to come to an agreement with the officer. Also, I was on the way to work. It was 3 in the morning in Chesterfield, New Hampshire, a town where there's 4 police in the entire town. And I was picking a coworker up, and I had an officer pull up behind me and start questioning me, demand I get out of the car. He pulled me out of the car, reached into my car and tried searching. Never said he was going to. Took my wallet out of my pocket, took it back into his cruiser with him, my entire wallet, not just my ID.
He reached into your pocket and pulled your wallet out?
Once I was out of the car, he spun me around, pushed me up against the side of my car, reached into my pocket, pulled the wallet out, took it back. It was a big mess.
Maybe he should be working for the TSA.
He transferred from New Jersey, apparently, is what I found out from the chief of police in Chesterfield. So I don't know if he was new or what, but I think he needs to realize that this isn't Jersey City.
He didn't give you any warning before he put his hand down there?
He just spun me around, pushed me against the car, and started rifling through my pockets. And despite my protests, he continued.
Yeah. Anyway, you'd just rather see fewer police on those roads.
Yeah, or at least go after real criminals, maybe, instead of a guy going to work. But a lot of it's my car too. I mean, I've had non-sports cars in the past and rarely ever get pulled over in those. They do target it, believe it or not. Some people will believe it, some people won't, but it kind of comes with the territory, I guess.
Now, can you think of a solution that would benefit both the police and their pullover victims?
Well, if the police's goal is what they claim, to keep people safe, then rather than ticketing me, for speeding, for example, just give me a warning. One, it's going to slow me down, or just your presence on the side of the road will slow me down. And any honest cop will admit that they realize that they're on the side of the road, people are going to slow down, whether they're pulling them over or not. So if that's their goal, people will slow down, and it won't rob people of their money or put their license, and in my case, my job at risk.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do that with a profit motive.
Yeah, it really is. But I mean, as far as local towns go, they don't see any of that money. The state gets the money, not the towns.
That's true.
So most of my tickets have come from local police. However, I'm facing a state police speeding ticket currently.
Now, by and large, I know that we did focus in on the bad experience that you had with a cop, but by and large, have the authorities been relatively professional with you when they pull you over?
Really, it's a crapshoot. Sometimes, absolutely. Other times, not at all.
What would you say is the percentage of professional behavior to just nasty behavior?
I'd say 70% professional, you know, to one extent or another, and 30% just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, well, if they get ridiculous enough, you don't have any more incidents ever in your life.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean,
that's the danger with cops.
It's gotten ridiculous to the point where they're screaming at you, and you haven't said a word to them or done anything. You know, you walk away with no ticket still, but they're screaming and yelling at you, swearing, pulling you out of the car, pushing you around, things like that, searching without a warrant.
Well, if all this is, how much good video have you gotten of all this stuff?
There is a video from a couple years ago.
Turn off the camera for me, bud.
Sorry, this is a one-party consent state.
Okay.
When I first moved, I got ticketed for a headlight being out, but I also got searched in Vermont.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
State trooper, yeah. So there's some good video that myself and Nick Ryder got from 2009. But most of the time, like I said, I'm just going to work or I'm working, and I just want to get the hell out of there. So the most I'll ever do is I'll put out a Keen 411, just a mass text. Sometimes I'll pork 411 if the situation increases at all. But for the most part, it's just a stop and go kind of thing. Every once in a while, you have the guy who has a chip on his shoulder for whatever reason and just wants to give it to you. So beyond that one time, I don't have much good video at all.
The deal. We're not going to turn this into a scene. We're not going to have all kinds of people hanging out on the side of the road watching us do a search of this car. If that's what you want to do, and you have the right to stay here, you absolutely do. But if that's what you want to do, then we're going to tow his car back to the barracks and we're going to do the search there.
To me, this seems like seizure without a warrant. To me, you don't have any evidence in that car.
Here's another thing that we need to get out of the way. Okay, this is concerning Andrew. This is not concerning you.
Oh, but you're telling me to leave or not, so it is concerning me at this point.
No. I'm giving Andrew options.
Well, what I've found is I just look at it. Ian Freeman's always saying you benefit from cops interacting with you. You'll never benefit from interacting with cops. But I kind of try to look at it different and do the impossible and get a benefit from from cops coming up to me in the form of a good video.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't have a YouTube channel. I'm not looking for hits, things like that. So I'm not out to get good video 24/7. However, I do realize it will protect me, and you know, in some cases it has.
Well,
in other cases it seems to harm me.
Yeah, it might protect you or it might antagonize them, but even if you don't have a channel, if you get good video, it's going to probably get on someone else's channel.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the thing,
And that's what happened with the Vermont State Trooper thing.
Right.
And also, I did get some decent video. I'm not even sure how long ago it was, a year and a half ago maybe. There was a DUI checkpoint in Keene, and I held a sign just redirecting traffic away from it. And the Keene police didn't like that one bit, and they detained me and told me once he figured out what law I was breaking, he was going to arrest me. And that was some pretty good video. But in that case, I was a little more ballsy because I wasn't in my vehicle, and I had nothing to lose. So,
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
Yep.